Welcome to Bat Therapy, mental health through the lens of comics and film. Be a fly on the wall or a bat in the cave, listening in on a friendship built out of a love for talking Batman, comics, and the everyday struggle to achieve mental health and happiness.
We are your hosts, clinical psychologist Dr. Amelia Brown and educator and comic aficionado Keaton Hopkins. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and social media and find our Patreon at patreon.com/battherapy.
This podcast is about providing education and understanding and is not a replacement for mental health treatment or support. If you're needing help, go to bat-therapy.com for resources.
Wild cards.
Woo!
Right? Okay, so we were sitting here and we were talking, and there's so many characters in the MCU, it's impossible to get through all of them, but we know that there's going to be some people that aren't directly tied to the cast that have been announced necessarily that are probably going to show up in this film.
Yeah.
And so
we've hit on some that might. So some of them had content that just came out this year.
Yeah.
And then some we wanted to talk about. So we did because it's our podcast. So we can. And then we realized there were so many others. But I think both of us are ready to wrap up the season fairly soon.
Yes.
So pull a lot of them together. We have quite the list, I have to say.
Yeah.
It started as like 4, and then Keaton said, "Hey, we're recording tonight. Here's like 6, 7, 8 more."
It'll be fine. It's
Okay.
It's all about rolling with the punches, improvisation, and dealing with your
I'm
sporadic
not here to
nerd
know
fan.
stuff. I'm just here to talk about psychology.
There we go. Cool. Perfect.
So who do we want to start with?
So the first that I was going to say was Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, the person who I still think to this day killed Tony Stark because I really do think that when he was looking through all of those different realities and he was like, there's only one where we win.
What are the
What I
odds?
really think is there's only one where you die and no one else does.
I mean, it's a fair point that what are the odds that there's only one in infinite?
Yeah.
An infinite amount. Well, he didn't even check them all. He said, "Oh, I found one. He's dead. Whatever."
He stopped at the very first and he's like, "Oh, he died. Perfect. That's the one. Right there."
And he checks a few thousand more just to be sure that he's not being a total a-hole.
Because he knew they were going to lose some more Avengers because of the Soul Stone. They're like, all right, if they're getting the Soul Stone, unfortunately, some people are going to have to die.
He's like,
there's
there can
no way
only
to get
be
it without
one white dude with a goatee who acts like he's hot shit, and that's going to be me.
He's like, all right, the Soul Stone, and this is the best possible version because because war criminals die to get the Soul Stone, and it's going to be fine. And yeah, Tony, sorry, it's only one way. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, thanks for saving the universe. I'm gonna go back to my mansion now.
Okay, so Doctor Strange, he's killed Tony Stark. Oh, there's there's What If, and so I mean, like Doctor Strange, depending on which multiverse you're in, he's the cause of so many incursions, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's the reason so many multiverses fall apart. If I remember correctly from What If, there's a version of him, right, who's so desperate to I forget, like, what's her name?
He was trying to save Rachel McAdams' character. I can't remember her name. I feel terrible. But yeah, he was trying to save her, and so he kept trying to get more and more powerful, absorbing these creatures and stuff like that, until the point that, he became a villain.
Yeah, he's arguably not great in a lot of multiverses.
Yeah.
So what version of him do you think we're going to come across if he's there?
I think we will get standard Doctor Strange. The only reason I say that is because if we're dealing with the multiverse, that's the only way he only shows up if Earth is at stake, right? He's not out here. You don't see Doctor Strange fighting petty crime. When he's fighting, it's on a world-ending level, right? And so
there's
I mean, it's
magic
just like
and stuff involved, and
it's like when they showed on the Battle of New York in the Avengers when Hulk is going to the current Sorcerer Supreme, Tilda Swinton's character, the ancient one, And she's just like, I'm just making sure to protect this building. Like, I'm not out here saving people. I'm just, Masons are expensive and I can't, no, I'm just protecting this building. And so I think that's what him and Wong are going to be up to. And I think they're going to get pulled into it just because there are certain characters already in it that have magical artifacts. Like Miss Marvel and Shang-Chi, those magical artifacts that are obviously gonna, I think, come into this somehow. And so I think that's automatically gonna pull them in there because it's like, oh, magic. All right, guess I got to get off the couch. Like, all right, where's my cape?
Now, there is the question mark of, is Doctor Strange completely himself or not? Because he deals with the Darkhold. Remember how annoyed we got with his last movie because it was like, heaven forbid, Scarlet Witch does things and then he does it and he doesn't turn evil, but everyone else does if they mess with the Darkhold and blah, blah, blah. But then at the end of that movie, something weird happened with him. Remember, he something funky happened to his body or something. So it could be that he's a little off. But yeah, I kind of hope, like you're saying, it's him and Wong and they're just dipping in and doing their thing. And
Now, and I don't know where Strange falls into things, but he'll be familiar with all of the other characters except for Spider-Man, who may or may not be in this.
Right, because he wiped his own memory.
Yeah, he completely cleaned that out, which wild spell. Wild call, Pete. But I think that he is going to, like you said, not be 100% himself. So he's not going to be someone that I think they can fully rely on in this movie. And then on top of that, with the Doctor Doom aspect, I'm really interested in seeing where they go with it, because Marvel and I mean comic books in general have this balance between technology and magic constantly, right? Like there's things that make sense, things that don't make sense, and then the MCU is dropped smack dab in the middle of all of it. And so you have Doctor Strange and Tony Stark like doing cool shit next to each other. And so and so I really think that he will get brought in, especially when there's like a multiverse level threat, because of what we saw him up to the last time dealing with the multiverse. And on that topic, while we're still on it, so in Multiverse of Madness, there is a prophecy where Scarlet Witch is basically told she will either rule the universe or rule the multiverse or destroy it. So I think she's probably going to pop up here at some point.
I really do think. I got mad they killed her off.
Same.
Plus,
I really do think that she's going to come back.
You had this whole cool thing going on with her show, and then Multiverse of Madness, I don't know, it did her dirty.
Right. And then we also found out in Agatha All Along that her kids exist. Now. And so I'm like, all right, so the X-Men are in it, like Magneto. She's like, the kids are around somewhere. Yeah, they better bring her back. And I don't know what state she will also be in, because like that was the thing about Multiverse of Madness. It ended and nobody was completely okay. Like that movie didn't have a very happy ending at all. I was too angry with what they did with Wanda to even concentrate on it. But it didn't really have much of a multiverse. It didn't really have madness. Like it just had annoyance. But anyway.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. And
there are so many other movies that we can distract ourselves with. That's the good news.
But it's the multiverse, right? So they could actually bring her brother back. And that would be cool, because if they're bringing the X-Men in this movie, in the X-Men universe, Evan Peters is still Quicksilver.
That's true.
And he was great as Quicksilver. And so I would not mind him showing.
That would be so fun.
Back up in this, right, to potentially unmadden the Scarlet Witch if she does come back, right? Like it would be cool, because I would also, because of that prophecy, I have a feeling that means she's probably going to be interacting with Loki at some point. Like that's just my guess. like, because either rule the multiverse or destroy it. And last time we saw him, he was the one holding all the timelines. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, interested in that as well.
Yeah.
And then let's see. So we also, and I don't know where this is going to come from or how they're going to do it, but Steve Rogers is back in this movie. Because Steve Rogers is back, I'm guessing Peggy Carter is also back as well.
You think she'll come with him, or whatever it is that happens with him, you think she'll be along for the ride?
I think so, just because. So we see him in the trailer and he has a baby. So is Doctor Strange, is not Doctor Strange, is Captain America still in like the 50s or 60s maybe that he has this kid? Like, what's happening there? Like, where's
Question.
he at in time?
I mean, he essentially ruins her career then. I mean, let's think about it. How likely is it that it would be so hard at that stage to have a baby and didn't she become director of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I mean, like, the type of job that she has. So I'm very curious. Would she still be the exact same Peggy Carter that she was and have the same history? Or
I could totally see him being a stay-at-home dad.
God, you're so right. That's so what happens. Yep. She
I
does her
can
career exactly like
totally see
yep.
him
And he stays at home. You're totally right. You're
being a
totally right.
hot
Yep.
stay-at-home dad.
Yeah. He could sleep with anyone he wanted on the block.
Apron, bacon muffins, American
Right.
flag oven mitts. Like,
Yep. There you go.
it's a thing. It's a
There
thing.
you go.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
The only question is, yeah.
And so, yeah, there's so many I can connect because, yeah, if Peggy's there and let's say she does end up becoming director, that means Nick Fury might be somewhere in there. Last time we saw him, he was in space on a satellite, but then the cats puked him back down to Earth. There was a lot that happened in the Marvels, but it was great. But he's around still and in a much happier place post Secret Invasion, seemingly. He was a lot more fun in that movie. And so I think he's still around because Nick Fury doesn't really turn it off. I think he's still just like, all right, what's going on? Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. was corrupt and it's not a thing anymore, but now we have S.W.O.R.D., which could be corrupted still, but it's not so far. So knock on wood. And I think that at some point, there's still going to have to be a centerpiece or at least a backup for all of these different teams or a focus point as far as the information that's available. Because if Doctor Doom is a multiverse level threat, it's going to have to be all hands on deck in some way, right?
Yeah, it's definitely still a giant question mark how Steve Rogers would come into play with everything. Well, and so him and Peggy Carter, though, I mean, they got to figure out something with the kid.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to just abandon your kid in your multiverse or the past or whatever version. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to a different multiverse or going to the future or what might happen, or I don't know, maybe somebody's jumping around in time because a bunch of people can do that without getting in trouble. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Peggy Carter will be in it or not. I could see her showing up, just a little homage, but I'm not sure. They haven't really done much with her except in the animated stuff. Well, no, she had a show, but you know what I mean? Like in terms of the MCU stuff that people watch, like tons of people with the movies and everything, they haven't really pulled her into that since
That's true.
the start
That's
of
true.
things.
That's true.
It's a good question,
and so
though.
I'm really interested in seeing if she pops up again, if Nick Fury pops up again, and here's another wild card, somebody we haven't seen in a really long time, Agent Phil Coulson.
They gotta.
It's been a long time since we've seen Phil Coulson. Where's he at? What's he been up to since Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? And so, I don't know what's going on with him. And so there's a lot of people specifically in S.H.I.E.L.D. that I think could potentially show up, because I mean Hawkeye was also a member of Shield as well. As a matter of fact, I think his wife was as well. Like his wife was also a Shield agent at one point in time. And so yeah, there's a lot of different people, and I think they have to bring in some people that we did not think we would be seeing. I
Oh, yeah,
really
for
do,
sure.
because like I said, it's all hands on deck. And if it's the multiverse, like I know they haven't announced that Captain Marvel is in it, but if it's the multiverse that's at stake, it'd be mighty bizarre that if she was not
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
And with her, like I said, that's somebody, you always see her with Nick Fury around. And so, yeah, I think she shows up in some form, because it's the multiverse. So we don't even know how many of these will be variants that we see. Because I'm not going to lie, if they have David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury, I am going to absolutely lose it if they bring back his Nick Fury. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Love David Hasselhoff. He did all he could to save it. But like, yeah.
That's a really fair point. So yeah, they've done it really well. DC's done it really well with the different Batman stuff, and that's a really great point. That would be fun. And Deadpool, the last Deadpool did a fantastic job. What did he call him? Cavroline for Wolverine when Henry Cavill. Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be really fun if they pulled in some of the older versions.
Yeah.
I don't think Edward Norton would ever bring himself to, but that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really, really fun to toy around with that a bit. Honestly, when it comes to the multiverse and timelines and toying around with things, like I feel like Deadpool did it best. And I really hope that he gets pulled in somehow, but I don't know. I'm sure it would just be a little tiny snippet with him in it. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
you can't put him in the movie part-time. He's not
Yeah,
the
that's
kind
the
of
thing is it's
character.
like, I don't think he can be a main character. I don't think he can be a major sidekick. He just has to be a really small cameo.
Yeah,
Maybe at the very end where he's like watched the whole thing and it's like, oh, y'all thought I was going to show up, huh?
Yeah.
But that would be really, really fun if Deadpool came into it. So when we prepped for the episode where we talked about Gambit for a little bit, I rewatched the Deadpool and Wolverine, and as always with watching Deadpool, just had such a fun time. So yeah, him and Wolverine would be super fun, and his whole crew. But it's one of those things where it's like, I just honestly have no idea how they're gonna bring all of this together and make it work, unless there's like some traveling around, jumping around, and you just see snippets for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and also I don't think there's no way that Patrick Stewart is in this movie without Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It's just a thing. Like if the X-Men are in this, I think Disney let us know what was going on with Wolverine when Deadpool dead-eyed the camera and said, "Till you're 90." It's like, yeah, man, Wolverine, Hugh, suit up, man. We're not
Nowhere.
You're not going. We're not done here. You're not going anywhere. Okay, Greatest
Yeah.
Showman, get your ass back in your spandex. This is what we do. And so,
what would be really awesome is if Deadpool did like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 version of the movie where the whole time it's just him sitting in front of the screen. So he's watching while we're watching and he's commenting on the whole thing.
You want to bring back Blu-ray sales or you want to bring back DVD like home theater sales, like for like whatever. Give that as an exclusive commentary that you have to buy it. Not on Disney Plus, not on special. It has to be, you have to buy that version. People would pay $15 more just to get that version.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, I can't believe no one's done it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe they have, and we're just not aware of it. But I don't know of anything like that. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah. So we taught Doctor Strange. We taught Peggy Carter, Scarlet Witch, Nick Fury. So another one that I was thinking about, because Tom Holland's not listed on the cast,
They forgot him just like everyone else. Haha.
but yeah, but he's Spider-Man. And we know he has a new movie coming out soon. And so I think if he doesn't show up in Doomsday, I think he'll show up in the next one, Secret Wars, that they announced.
Mm.
I really think that this movie, this next Spider-Man movie, is going to shape up as far as like what it's going to be about. And like, I think that's going to lead into, because I think it's the last MCU movie, I think, before Doomsday, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I believe. And so I think it's going to give us something, especially with him being in New York and the Fantastic Four being in New York. And
Yeah.
I think it's just, and the Thunderbolts being in New York, like everybody is in New York already. And so if he's swinging around, like, he's going to pop up at some point. Don't know what state he will be in. But I think that he's always a wild card that brings a lot to the table, because Spider-Man is so badass. Like, he's so cool. And I love him, and he is so much fun. And so I'll be disappointed if he's not in it at some point, because
what would be really interesting about that is what he's lended to the team, and what we've really appreciated about him with that is this wholesome, kid-like naivete, this good-hearted, he's just this like wonderful young spirit that comes in and doesn't fully know what he's doing, but it's just a wonderful add-on to everything. But he's older now. He's seen some stuff.
yes,
He's made some huge mistakes. And he's literally been through war. Was also like 5 years have disappeared for him, and then he pops back. There's just so much stuff he's been through and dealt with, not to mention the fact that he's just older and he's done more by this point. And so it would be really interesting to see what his role would be like, especially if there was more of an Avengers-like team in the way that we have thought about it before. There's a question mark about that because of all the weird funkiness of who are the Avengers and how is it getting created. But if some of the old school people are coming back, then there could be more of this original Avengers vibe, but his part of the equation would be different. And so that would be, it would be really interesting to see what that looked like. Because he's always got that good-hearted thing to him. But I mean, his aunt's died by now. I mean, there's so much stuff that's happened to this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think you nailed it, that capital T that comes with all of our comic book characters, trauma. Because everyone we've talked about is going to be bringing that with them, especially if Scarlet Witch shows up, if Doctor Strange shows up, if Peggy Carter shows up, if, of course, Deadpool, like Nick Fury, all of these characters, if they show up, they're going to be bringing trauma with them. And what's going to be interesting, specifically with Spider-Man and James Rhodes' War Machine, is Robert Downey Jr. is playing Dr. Doom.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it from that angle.
And so I'm guessing this is a variant. Right. This is a variant Doom that both him and Rhodey are going to potentially be seeing. And Steve Rogers, like the whole gang, but I'm specifically sticking to people that we don't know if they're going to show up. But with Spider-Man and Rhodey, when they see Doctor Strange, I think it's really, really going to throw them off. Same thing with Bruce Banner, because Bruce Banner had gotten close with him. Now, we know that Bruce Banner is in the new Spider-Man movie. They show him in the trailer, but we don't know what. I don't think he's attached to Avengers. And I think Mark Ruffalo actually came out and said straight up that he's not in it. Which, he's just straight up said he's not in it, which he's been bad with like spoil. I think he was the one that was always bad with spoiling things before.
I don't know about him, but Tom Holland
It
is
was Tom Holland. Okay,
awful.
maybe it was Tom Holland. Maybe that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, they always have to have people with Tom Holland specifically there to keep him from saying stuff. I love watching those videos. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
He
And
essentially is Peter Parker.
yeah. It's so good. It's like he's taking selfies of himself, selling people. But yeah, and so Bruce Banner, don't know if he's going to be in it. Don't know if She-Hulk is going to be in it. Be cool if she was, because she's
That
great.
would be
And
cool.
I would love to just see her and Deadpool just breaking the fourth wall together. Like, I think it'd be fun. And then there's one other person that, and we haven't seen them, and I don't know if that's just a one and done, and if it was even in the MCU, but Moon Knight. We haven't seen Moon Knight in a long time, but certainly magic powers. And so when I was thinking about all the magical characters that could be in this, I thought about Doctor Strange, I thought about Scarlet Witch, and I'm like, oh yeah, we keep forgetting Moon Knight, like Oscar Isaacs. And so it'd be cool if he showed back up. And I think it might be one of those things where I think at some point they're going to show a bunch of universes getting destroyed. And so we might just quickly get
flashes
glimpses of them. The kind of like what they did in The Flash when he's running and he sees all the different multiverses.
Yep. That's my theory of how they're going to pull this off. Is there's going to be some, like, I guess, incursion events happening, and you see different versions and whatnot.
Yeah, like maybe Doom is going from multiverse to multiverse, fighting their universe's best, and that's how you end up seeing these characters.
Yeah. Which, honestly, for me, would be preferable to. It's usually a mistake to have a lot of main characters or too many large characters that you're trying to get into, because a lot of times by the end, I feel like I haven't gotten to delve into any of them enough. So I've had this happen a lot with superhero movies where they have too many villains in it.
Yeah. I do have faith because Marvel did nail Infinity War and Endgame. They pulled it off.
True. And the original Avengers, I was like, okay, all right.
Like, how's this going to work? And the original Avengers, I had a feeling they would be able to do that because the cast was not as big for that one. It was the first time it had been done, but the cast was not as big. And so I was like,
they're going to pull it off as well.
Man, this is going to be great. This is going to be fun. And yeah, they nailed it. And then they made the cast a little bit bigger by the time we got to Age of Ultron. And then they made it a little bit bigger by the time we got to Civil War, Captain America Civil War. And then, of course, throughout, they were like, let's bring them all together once we got to Infinity War. And yeah, they somehow nailed it. Nailed it. And so, yeah, I have faith that they're gonna pull this off. It's just there's so little.
Those are big words, Keaton. You've built so much faith back up ever since X-Men 3.
Now I take it back. I didn't. No, now I take it back.
Don't forget,
I didn't.
I was there. We lost our faith together at that midnight showing separately. For anyone who is hearing this story for the first time, we did not go to that movie together.
X-Men the Last Stand. Yeah.
I'm assuming we were in high school. I can't remember. Yeah. So we were both in high school, went to the same school, but we weren't in the same, like, our friend groups, like, knew each other, but we weren't in the same friend groups yet. And so they were at the midnight showing, and then I was at the midnight showing with some other people. And then afterward, we were all just upset in the movie theater.
Yeah. And I think you heard me loudly say something.
Your voice carries.
Yes.
Even across the theater. Yeah. And so, and I had been talking to my friends next to me like, oh, this person's not dead. Or, oh, that's something else is going to happen. And I was like, what was that? So, yes. So I'm amazed at the faith that you have rebuilt since X-Men 3 took it away from you. And then The Dark Knight Rises tore it down even more.
Okay. That was Fox. I will say those X-Men movies, that was Fox. Let's see what Disney does with them now that they've had them for 20 years. And like, let's see what Disney does with them. And so, we will go from there. And as far as all these other characters that we don't know if they'll be in, I hope that we're right and that at least one of these characters we've talked about is in it. I really do think that Scarlet Witch is going to show up just because of that random prophecy that they talked about. Either she's gonna rule the multiverse or destroy it.
Because
she
deserves better.
Yes.
She deserves better than what they did to her.
She does. She does. And for all we know, that new Vision that popped up at the end of WandaVision might show up. He's just been out there and they just haven't touched on it. They just haven't touched on it. A WandaVision reunion, like, I'm here for that. With them and their kid and their great their kids, like, right? I'm here for it. I'm completely down.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And I think it's going to be interesting though, because these characters have come on such a long journey. None of them are like, even if you were to like look at them at the end of all of their movies that they've been on and when we've seen them, none of them are the same as when they showed up. They all have there's going to be an airport full of baggage that they are bringing with them into this movie. Right? There's going to be there's going to be so much baggage because like even Sam Wilson's going to be like, Steve, what the hell, man? Like, you did not tell me this was going to be like this. Like, this is.
Well, and I could be wrong, but it felt like there was quicker turnaround with movies when it came to a lot of the earlier installments of things.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with certain of the major characters. And so now, first off, there's a question mark of who's the major character even.
Mm-hmm.
And things are more spread out and we haven't seen certain people for a while. And the ones that we have seen, they just don't pop up as much as they have in the past. And so there's a lot more question marks and there's a lot more we could get surprised by.
Yes.
But I'm intrigued by that because if they do it well, it can still be believable. So, the problem comes in is if you veer off course too much with who a character is. But if they find a way to tie in and really write these characters from who they are, I really like the idea of us reconnecting with them and you're figuring out how to fill in the time from when you've seen them last. I think that can be a really fun thing about the movie. But yeah, there's definitely, like you were saying, there's so much that's happened with these characters. And yeah, there's the trauma, but there's also the living life and the changing periods of time, how we develop over time, and it's not all bad. And change happens no matter what. And these people some of them at least are going to be coming theoretically back together, and they're going to have to figure that out, which is kind of cool. It's making me think of when you see a friend who you haven't seen in a really long time and things are different. And also it's like nothing's changed. And so I think that's what I'm hoping from this movie is there's at least some pieces of that where you have some characters coming back together and just trying to work through that piece.
Yeah. Do you think Captain America's going to enter because someone says a bad word and he's just going to say, watch your language, and everyone's feel like, oh, snap, he's back. Like, yeah, it's going to
be so good.
Yeah.
That would be great. I would love that.
But yeah, I remember when Avengers Infinity War was coming out, what I called one of the jokes. I said at some point, Rocket is going to ask for Winter Soldier's arm. I said at some point he's going to do it's going to be like, I need that arm. I need that guy's arm. Like at some point, and it did happen. Like, they did make a joke about it. I was like, I knew it. I knew it was coming. But yeah, and I don't think the Guardians are going to pop up in this. I don't know, because they're all like spread out and doing their own thing now. But Star-Lord is on Earth, I believe, because he went back to Earth to, I guess, say with his grandpa that was still alive. I believe his mom's dad was still alive, I believe. And so I think he might pop back up at some point too, which he's been through a whole bunch as well. with the rest of the Guardians. And so yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see. I'm super excited about it. We definitely have to go see that ASAP when it comes out in December and get back and be like, all right, we got therapy to talk about.
There you go.
And
Yeah,
so
there's going to be a ton of stuff to talk about with that movie.
yeah, and
Yeah,
this is
I'm guessing we'll also, before that, after seeing Spider-Man, we'll probably do an episode to check
definitely,
in about things.
definitely.
But yeah, we'll definitely have to come back around and talk about the movie afterward. And I don't know. There are a lot of like, so the movies before this, you knew what you were getting yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
This one you really don't in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
needed to change something, so they're
and
trying something different.
and that's one of the things I am worried about with this, because we haven't seen these characters in so long, and we're kind of going in cold because we don't have, with Infinity War, we knew it was coming. Thanos, we saw him at the end of Avengers 1, right? And so we knew what was coming. Every single Infinity Stone at some point showed up and had its own movie, except like one or two of the stones, right? We knew what those were. We saw them in action. Like, everything came together. With this, it's like it's a multiverse movie with the whole MCU involved, and we don't know. Like, we don't know anything. We don't know how the Fantastic Four are involved. We don't know how Wakanda's involved. We don't know where Doctor Doom even comes from, which I think that'll probably be the opening scene. I think the opening scene is going to be Doctor Doom and like a little bit of his origin or where he comes from. I think that'll be that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting seeing this, and it's a completely unestablished thing, which I think is fun and a lot more realistic. It's like, whoa, what the hell is this Avengers level threat that's coming out of nowhere that we've never heard about, right? I think it's gonna, and so they're gonna. I think they're gonna get their butts kicked because he's gonna sneak up on them.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Doom, he's gonna have something for him for sure.
Yeah. I do question how well the movie is going to do, because I think a lot of people are overwhelmed by the MCU at this point, and I don't know. We'll have to see.
It'll gross $1 billion. It will. It will. Yeah, it will. As soon as they release a legit trailer for it, yeah, it's gonna do numbers, especially if they get a solid end scene for Spider-Man. It's gonna, I think it's an
That's a fair
Avengers.
point. And the
It's an
nice thing about
Avengers movie.
Spider-Man is it's one of the only ones that I think you can unattach. Spider-Man was popular in his own right,
Yeah, he does
very
his own.
separate from all of this stuff. So that's a fair point. Yeah, I think what has me nervous is, as someone newer to comics, so I started reading comics in my mid-20s, late 20s, and there were times where I was interested in a storyline. Like, I'd read about a storyline out there and I'd be like, "Oh," and I'd buy a comic compilation for it. And the storyline was not as good as I was expecting it to be, because there was just, it was all over the place, and there were so many people and so many things going on and so much. And so I do worry about that a little bit, but once again, they could easily have so many people show up by just hopping around the multiverse, hopping around time, doing whatever. So
it'd be quick. It could be really quick.
Yeah. So, which is interesting, because it's definitely a question of, well, who are the main characters?
Right. It kind of makes me think about when they did Crisis on Infinite Earths. And they brought it and we saw Lucifer, we saw the Titans from HBO. Like, they brought in everybody from all over the place, and it was great. And so, yeah, it kind of reminded me of that, because they were like, oh man, they even brought in like Kevin Conroy. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think this will be a lot of fun too, especially because I think a lot of people were so disappointed with Multiverse of Madness that everyone's itching to actually see the multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think I think it could be fun. I also heard a rumor, and I need to look this up, that they were going to change some things in Avengers. They were going to put some different scenes in Avengers Endgame to make it make sense. Like I thought I saw something about them re-releasing Avengers Endgame or something. I'm not sure. It could just be a rumor that
better be a rumor. Look,
y'all,
if you didn't get it the first time, deal with it.
For our listeners, I am on Reddit way too much. And so that could possibly not be true. But yeah, I did hear something in the rumor mill about like new things being added to Avengers Endgame potentially to kind of help mesh Doomsday together. But we'll see. I don't know.
I really hope not. That's cheating.
Yeah. Yes, it is. You're right.
So I hope that is a rumor that turns out to be false.
Yeah.
You never know. Some of these rumors come from nowhere and some of them come from somewhere legitimate, but that's cheating. So I hope it's false.
Yeah. It depends on how it's done, because I'm not going to lie. I do love X-Men Days of Future Past because a good retcon goes a long way.
That's different. They made new material to fix their old material, and I respect that.
I
respect
the hell out of it. I might go watch that movie right now. I love
it. Is a really great example of, like you got make the best of it. Make the best of what you had, and they made a brilliant movie out of it. So yeah, but no, you don't go. Going back's cheating. I'm not for that.
Nope. No.
Thanks for nerding out with us. I'm clinical psychologist Dr. Amelia Brown.
And I'm educator and comic aficionado Keaton Hopkins. Check out my TV and movie reviews on YouTube at Team JVS. Check out our website at bat-therapy.com, our Bat Therapy YouTube channel, and follow us on social media. And don't forget our Patreon page at patreon.com/battherapy. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.